Junius. It's been a very long time since I made a video about this. November. It's been a year. My mom died in August, on August 11th. Yeah, she died on August 11th. I lived with my mom. I lived with my dad last year, or in 2020. I lived with my dad from May to August of last year, of 2 years ago. I got kicked out, which really, really sucked. And I'm still kind of reeling from that, even though it's been over a year. I lived with my mom from August 2020 to August 2021. And she died in August of 2021. So it's been 5 months since my mom passed away. When I lived with her from August to December in 2020, she was very sickly. I had to take care of her. She would fall all the time. And I was stuck in her house because I couldn't leave. I couldn't go back to Dad's house because I wasn't allowed to spend the night at his house anymore, which really, really sucked. So I knew that if my mom kicked me out, that I would be completely screwed. I wouldn't have anywhere else to go. So I lived with her from August to December of 2020. And then in December of 2020, she went to the hospital to get tested to figure out what was wrong with her because she was falling all the time. And those 4 months that I lived with her were hell. It was the most horrible 4 months of my life because I was having to take care of my mother. She was getting very sick and we didn't know if she was going to die. We didn't know if it was going to take a year or 5 years. And the doctors at the hospital gave her 6 months to 2 years to live. And at the time, it didn't seem like she was going to die anytime soon. We thought she was going to die in like 5 years. And at the time, I was in December 17th, 2020, I got a job at a coffee shop called Ugly Mug. I wasn't working for a while. I lost my theater teaching job at Expression City in Cool Springs in October of 2020, which was really devastating. But I wasn't making enough money there anyway. I was making about $600 a month with them, maybe less. Mom went to the hospital and she got diagnosed with neuropathy. Her disease is something different, but basically it's neuropathy. It's where you lose control, you lose sensation in your hands and feet. And so after she went to the hospital, she went to a nursing home and she got put in a bed. And it was hell for her because she was completely paranoid that they were going to try to kill her. And she was stuck there because she was in a bed and she couldn't move. She couldn't get out of the bed. She couldn't walk. And she was in that hospital. She was in the hospital for like 2 weeks and then she wound up being in a nursing home for about a month. So I had the house to myself, which was amazing. And then she wound up coming home, which was completely devastating to me because I really didn't want her to come home. I know that sounds terrible, but I really didn't have a good relationship with her. She was home from January to August. She was home for 7 months. They gave her 6 months to 2 years to live, and she made it 7 months. I didn't know that within a year of me moving in with her that she was going to be dead. That was crazy. If I had known that she was going to be dead within a year of me living with her, I probably would have felt a little bit better because I would have known that I wouldn't have to live with her for the rest of my life. Because at the time when I was living with her, I really thought that I was going to have to live with her for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to have to live with her for another 5 or 10 years and that she was just going to be in bed sick for 5 or 10 more years. I didn't know she was going to die so quickly. She was rail thin. She was really, really skinny. She looked like a Holocaust survivor. She didn't eat anything. She would eat Frappuccinos, and she would eat a lot of applesauce, and a lot of orange juice. She didn't eat any solid foods. I would get up. I used to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I would be gone 15 minutes later. And I would go to a coffee shop, this coffee shop called The Good Cup. I would go there and I would stay there all day long. And then in the afternoon, I would go visit my aunt Suzette. And Mom hated that. She hated that I went to go visit my aunt all the time. And she hated that I didn't see her at all. But at the time, I didn't feel inspired to make videos because I was so depressed. Because I thought I was going to have to live with my mom for years and years and years. And at the time, I wasn't making enough money to move. In June of 2021, I got a job teaching theater at a summer school camp for girls. I went there. Before that, in May of 2021, I started having panic attacks. Panic attacks, I don't have these things where I am hyperventilating. That doesn't happen to me. I will not be able to breathe all the way up. I won't be able to take a full breath in. I won't be able to yawn. And I'll really, really need to yawn, and I won't be able to. So when I went to this camp, I wound up having 2 panic attacks in one day. And this girl named Ira, her name's Hera, but she goes by Ira. She saved me. She came to my cabin that night and sat with me and held my hand until I felt better. And whenever I have a panic attack, I tend to want to look up, which is really very, very, very strange. I tend to want to look up and my eyes will go into the back of my head and I can't help looking up. And before I have a panic attack, I'll usually start to look up and then I'll know that I'm going to have a panic attack. And so I wound up having to go home because my manager, my boss, didn't want the kids to see me that way. So I wound up going home. I moved out of Mom's house a week after I got back from camp. I had finally found an affordable place to live. I found a place to live for $600 over by the airport. And I lived with this girl named Noelle. She was like 28. She had a dog and 3 cats, which I was very happy about. It was really far from Mom's house, so I would only be able to go and get groceries for her once a week. She used to have me go get groceries multiple times a week, which was like the bane of my existence. I hated getting groceries for her. So I lived there for like 2 weeks, and then my mom died. And my aunt told me that she would up she would charge me more, or she would charge more money to me if I didn't move into the house. So I've been living at my mom's house since August by myself for 5 months. And it's been hard. I wasn't as happy as I thought I would be. I thought that I would be completely relieved when my mom died and I wouldn't have to take care of her anymore. The house is very big and very lonely. We're selling the house in April, and my sister is coming here in February, and she's going to stay through March. And probably while she's here, we'll have an estate sale, and then sell the house in April. And I'm not sure where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. I'd like to get an apartment, but I'd also really like to travel. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm really scared because I'm not going to have a home base anymore. I'm not going to be able to go back to my dad's house. I'm not going to be able to go back to my mom's house anymore. I'm gonna have to be on my own, which is really scary. So the future is kind of up in the air right now. I'm looking forward to getting my own apartment. I'm looking forward to getting to travel. Um, my mom left me a little bit of money, so I'll be able to travel and get an apartment, which is really nice. Um, and with the money that I get from the house, I'll be able to buy my own house someday. Um, so I'm not sure what's next. I'm still working for my dad as a videographer and a film editor, and I'm kind of uninspired when it comes to making videos. I don't know why. I can't get myself to get back into the habit of making YouTube videos anymore. And I'm still working for Ugly Mug. I'm still a barista, and I've been there for a year. I've been there over a year now. And it's a great job. It's really easy. I don't really have to do anything. I get to sit down the majority of the day because it's not busy in the afternoon. I usually work from 2 to 7. I used to work from 12 to 5, and I only work 20 hours a week, which is really nice because I don't have to work any more than that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do next. And I'll make another video in another couple of weeks or months to update you guys about what's going on with me. So anyway, blessings, and thanks for watching. Bye.